I told you to keep that notifications on and all that kid stuff in case we come back tonight. And we're here for a wee bit of GF Friday night. I wasn't sure if we were going to get this up and running. I wasn't sure if anyone was going to join me. But as I open the doors, he's here on time, a regular. One of the regular faces. He's here all the time. He's part of the furniture.
Hell yeah, dude. How you doing, mate?
Good to see you, mate.
You too. Just
I've
watching.
Just realised I've not got my headphones on, so if there's an echo come through, let me know.
No, you're good. I can hear myself a tiny bit, but it's not bad. It's all right. It's literally like a 1% thing. It's really not worth fussing around over. So
I've just turned my volume down. Maybe that'll kill it.
Yeah, we're all good. God,
so how you been, buddy?
Mate,
you had your match yet?
I've had a skin infection. Look at that.
Oh, aye.
I had a weird skin infection on my nose and cheek.
Oh, aye.
Which is a bit weird.
That's nasty looking.
Yeah, it was bad. It came out of nowhere. I've never dealt with like acne or anything growing up, and so when this came around, I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" But went to
sore?
No, it's not. It doesn't feel bad at all. But I went to a dermatologist, and they was like, "Yeah, you've just got an infection in your pores." I was like, "That's great news, isn't it?" So here we are.
Yeah,
maybe I'll face it. I'll look this way. You're my better side.
That's bad trick. Keep it on the good side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you had your match yet?
Yeah, I took it was, in the rankings on the website, they were just below me, like very even. And I lost 2-0, but it was an undeserved loss. I've taken a few undeserved wins though, so I'm not like overly like problematic about it, but I should have done better. But no, we took an L, unfortunately.
That's a sad one. I had that a few times last year where I went into some matches thinking I was going to get smashed and ended up getting a wee jammy win. But I won my first 2 matches so far, so I'm quite buzzing.
Nice.
And my third match is just loaded up. I don't know if you've ever sat and watched them when they're live. I watch most of them on replay, but that's the team sheets just came in 4 minutes before kickoff.
Click on the little third dot, please, on the formation page. For both teams.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you like this one, don't you?
Yeah, I like it. You're on the left, are you? Oh, yeah, it's easy dubs, mate. Look at that 81 offense.
Yeah. Oh, the wee numbers at the bottom you like? Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
You pointed them out to me before. I think I forgot about them.
Yeah, so you're like, his midfield's slightly better than yours, but otherwise you're in control there.
Oh, could be tight. Yeah, I really like that website you've been pointing out. This one where it shows you the league projections.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah.
It's good. So I think like my first game was against who was my first game against? Edinburgh. So that was a nice win. And then my second game was against this team in 5th.
Did you win
second
that?
Bottom. I beat them 2, and then I'm playing this guy tonight, number 7.
Okay.
So
you haven't played any of the top guys yet, but you've still also got all the weakest teams left to go as well. That's promising, isn't it? That's a good spot to be.
My next 4 matches is the top 4, but I haven't had a chance to rotate yet.
Yeah. I'm like I don't know if they made a tweak to stamina, but my team is really good still after 3 games. So I'm going to wait until that first cup game after 5 games before I rotate at all. So yeah, I think it's all right.
Yeah, I'm trying to play by ear on when to do it because I think because I don't want to drop points obviously in the league, and most of my rotation I've bought is like throw in the towel rotation, just like swap 11 for 11 and just whatever happens.
Yeah. And
I'm not quite ready to do that yet. I need the cup to come along to save me for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a tough kind of start to the year, and that's
what's that 86 striker saying? What's he about?
My guy.
Yeah.
Well, he's 84 because he's captain.
He's captain, yeah. 91 shooting.
He's my hero.
He's pretty intense, isn't he?
Got a wee golden boot last year.
Oh, is that right? Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
In stone. You said that I watched your content. I've got to bring you up on it. You said my Cornelius guy that you sent an offer for. You said I sent him to a worse team, but I didn't. I sent him to the division above.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I had to. When the offer came in, because it was 5% and I think 5.2% on if he doesn't play 10 games. I just can't turn this down in like the bronze league or whatever it was. Yeah.
So I was listening to it. I was like, obviously I seen the offer went somewhere else, and I was like, that's a kick in the teeth. And then when I was listening to it, I was just like, well, let's hear what the story was. Was it a better offer or whatever? And I must have got the names wrong then, because you're talking about somebody else, and I thought, oh, that's a division below me. I was like, oh, that's a Butthurt. But I
Yeah,
thought, I know it's like with this inbox when you get offers, like
it's
it
mad,
just,
isn't it? Yeah, you
yeah,
can't filter it properly and stuff. Like, yeah, it's a bit difficult. But no, the sad reality is though is he hasn't played a single minute yet, like
ooh,
so far. So it's kind of a catch-22 because on the one hand, I really want him to get the match XP, but on the other hand, if he doesn't play any games, I get an extra 5% MFL. So I don't really mind, you know.
yeah. Something I did right before watching, not your video that came out today, but maybe your last one, was I got my goalkeeper in at the last minute because the guy, when I was a division below, the guy that won the league only conceded 9 goals, and he had easily the best keeper in the division.
Yeah,
And when I was coming into this season, I was looking at my keeper from last year, and I was like, "You're just not gonna, you're gonna cause me bother."
yeah,
So I went out and loaned him in. I just took a big rev share on it,
yeah,
but then I had an extra goalkeeper. So what I did is I put him out available for loan for 0. But if he doesn't play 15 games, I want 15% or something,
yeah,
just to get that XP and all the rest of it. And
yeah.
I think you've done something similar, didn't you?
Yeah, I put a lot of my guys up for 0 and just be like, look, I just want them to get the match XP more than anything. Like, otherwise they'll just be sitting there dormant anyway. I got a few of them into clubs. One of them's doing really well after his first couple of games, but yeah, I just love it. I just message you on WhatsApp, like, it's taken over my life, man. Like the strategies and stuff behind it all. It's like it's just really fascinating. Like you know, Air James FIFA from like used to make FIFA content. He hasn't done in many years. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's got onto MFL and he's got a rare card that's already gone up 2 in like this season.
Wow.
And he's just like so gassed, and it's just like it's so good to see people's reaction to like the progression and stuff. Like, oh, here you go, that's bang, that's a goal, that's easy goal, isn't it? Bosh. Oh,
Pam Stinger.
yeah. Oh, mate, the goal I conceded today to go 2-0 down, keeper saved it and just parried it into the net.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
At the front post kind of thing?
Yeah, front post, yeah.
I scored a goal like that last night against
Oh,
somebody.
is that right?
Yeah.
A lot of the goals I score and concede are always near post, in like front post goals from the angle. I don't really score any other types of goals.
Oh, I've got a few. I don't really cross. All my crossings are off. So I think my goals are a wee bit varied, but yeah, it's definitely a wee bit of front post action. You pointed out a goal method last year as well that I thought was actually quite a bit of a realization. Like, yeah, a lot of them are like that. Like set pieces were dead easy last year. I felt like.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, I think like the progression is something I really enjoy watching on as well, because you've got that part of like the guys that are in your team. You love seeing them get better because then you know the next match, like, oh, I'm coming for you. But let's see, last year what I did is I put a lot of guys in development that to sell this year or to loan out this year, and even from that aspect of it, the guys you're not using, when you see them going up, it's just like a wee bit like, oh, you know, we might have a bit better market fodder now, or something like that. So the progression is like it's quite an unsung hero of the game, isn't it? So far,
yeah, it is. I had a few of my the guys that I got from the 600 MFL packs in the off season. I accidentally listed them. I want to keep all of my first own players. I tried to resell on the guys that I'd bought, and I accidentally listed a couple, and they both sold. And I'm like, oh crap! Like first of all, I'm sad because they were like my first own players, but also I'm like, what did somebody see in this guy that made them buy them? You know, I'm like, I want them back now.
Aye. My little right back, Casas, he's quite young. He's like 80 rated now. I think when I got him, he was like 78. But I get offers for him all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. He's got very good stats, but there's something about him that he pops up on somebody, or a lot of people's kind of radar, it seems. So yeah, you do get that wee bit of like.
Oh yeah, I mean that pace, defending, and physical is insane for an 81, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty chunky.
And even his passing and dribbling is so good. Yeah. The shooting doesn't have any impact on defenders, though, does it?
Nah. He scores some goals once in a while.
What is he as like a left mid? Have you put him into the MFL player info thing? What rating is he as?
I don't think in other positions he's any better.
Oh, okay.
To be honest.
Fair enough. Yeah, he's a banger though, isn't he? He's good.
He's a good one. But yeah, I don't think he's... Oh, I'll tell you something cool I noticed today. I'll show you this in a second, once we find Casas. But this is a proper progression thing. Left mid, -10.
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah.
But check this out, by the way. I bought this guy. I don't know if you remember, right? But see, last season, I bought this guy to play centre mid because he had like good pace and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
When I put him in centre mid, he gets like -8. So he showed up all the time as a 63, but he played fantastically. Like he got like 14 assists, scored a couple of goals. Like he was brilliant. So this year I had a guy like that I've bought, and it's this guy Faustino, who's a right wing back, but he plays defence. Now, see when I scouted him, I put him on that page that we just looked at, and he was 70 for right wing back and 70 for centre back. So he was just the same. And I thought that's quite cool. 82 pace. All my other defenders were like pace 50 or something like
Yeah.
that, slow as fuck. 78 defence is decent enough, I thought. But I don't know why, right? But I checked this morning or last night, and now, so he's played 2 games for me at this point, maybe 1, 2 probably. Now he's +1 at centre back.
Maybe that one extra passing like took him up.
Oh, yeah, maybe. See, I just went up passing 1, yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, it's interesting. This is a side of the game I haven't got like my head around yet. Like I've got a player in one of my like really poor teams, and I was looking at him randomly today, and he's literally got like a +7 at left mid, and he's like a CDM or something.
Ooh.
And I was like, damn, why am I not playing him at left mid? Like he's so much better, and it's because I bought him for CDM. But the way he plays is good. But like what you said with your guy that's left back that you was playing at centre mid. Like if you know that you're playing him as like a defensive minded centre mid and pass it, you want him to win the ball back, high aggression, high pressure, win the ball back, but safe passing and just get rid of the ball. Why wouldn't he do a job there? It doesn't matter what the rating says. Do you know what I mean? If he's playing to the way your tactic is, it doesn't matter what his overall rating is, it matters what his stats are. And I've got a few players like that have got like insane stats, but because they've got lower rating, I'm cautious of like, oh, do I really want to use them? And maybe I should be a bit braver and just put them into the team.
Yeah. Like, that was something that I thought was a good learning from last year. I was like, oh, it doesn't matter that he's 63. He still performed as good as I would have thought his stats would have,
Yeah.
Like 78 passing. Let's say he got like 14 assists or something, 12 assists.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
rinsed
it's banging.
And because I didn't really see the whole different, let's see the thing we just explored there with the centre back. I heard about that in previous years, like other content and other people chatting to me in the chat, but I didn't totally understand it. I think what I thought was you would randomly find like some other position that they're not meant to be good at, they would be good at, like a centre back as a striker or something mad like that. So every time I looked at one of my players, they never had anything, so I never really understood what the angle was some people were trying to fish out. So when he went there and played at 63, I thought, oh, that's just good because he's like a green centre mid and that's like a hack. But it wasn't until I've actually got an attacking mid. Oh, I can't show him because he's not on screen now, but he's 66, and if I play him in Cam, he's 69. He goes up +3, and he's just as good as Mooney here, in theory. So when I found that, I was like, oh, cool, that's a good wee W. But until that point, I hadn't realised what the thing was people were harping on about. I thought it was just a positional thing that was a hack rather than a bonus.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's see if you can get this dub now, hey?
So it's the last couple of games as well, by the way, there's not been as many highlights. And I'm thinking, is it an improvement to the engine, or is these games tighter? Is it less action packed?
I noticed that with my games today. I was like, wow, there's only like 4 or 5 highlights for the whole game.
So when the first half kind of flew past there, I was like, oh, this might be this is gonna be a tight one. But yeah, I've been buzzing with it this year. It's been a good start to the season as well.
Are you looking to get? What are you looking for? Like, what's the best outcome for you this season? Is it promotion or?
I think I could maybe squeeze into third. Like, if you look at all these ratings, like I'm not too far off of like the pack. There's 1 or 2 teams there that are way above everyone, but if I get lucky, I can maybe squeeze.
But that could
third.
be easily rectified with like progression as well, isn't it? If you get like a load of progression early on, you'll just become better than your opponents. Also, like that page that you saw there, like those numbers again are like meaningless, aren't they? Because like you said, you had a 63 centre mid that was like balling for you. If somebody has a 70 centre mid, doesn't make any difference. Like if maybe they've got like terrible passing or terrible defending or something, and they're just playing bad. Like I think it was you that said it. Like when I watched your early content, is like you look at match rating more than maybe some other things, and I thought that's a really good way to look at it. If you've got a guy that's just constantly putting up red match rating, why would you keep them in the team no matter what? Like, you just try somebody else, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I kind of got brought to my attention a wee bit as well at the end of last season because I was trying to hang on to a left back, and guys in the chat were giving me shit, saying he's not good enough. You need to bag him. And I'm like, no, he's good, he's good. And then looking at his ratings, he's always like 6.9,
Yeah.
6.8. It's just like not doing it. The free kicks on the edge of the box, he's giving them away, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes you just need to read it.
We
But
got
it's funny,
20
this season as well, I've been doing a lot more of, again, it was one of the first streams we did together on maybe this spot, but I've been looking at all the match reports now in a lot more detail, like interceptions and defensive duels won and all that. So I like looking at that, see who's actually contributing. This is going to be 0-0, isn't it?
Nah, there's a goal in this. You haven't had a highlight this half yet.
Ooh.
Logic suggests that you're about to get a penalty.
I'm at home as well, eh?
Yeah, somebody told me, I asked in Ramble Discord if there's home advantage because it doesn't say anywhere in the white paper. And somebody said that like a dev has like unofficially said it's like a 52-48 home advantage. I thought that's quite interesting. It's not there anywhere. You can't see it documented anywhere. But if it is, that's pretty cool.
I feel that a wee bit. I feel it's easier to win at home. I definitely felt that. Not by much, but it's more that I feel it's harder away, I suppose, rather than it's easier at home.
Oh, here it is.
Oh.
First highlight, first goal. Off the post and then a tap in.
Oh. Straight at the keeper.
You don't mind a 0-0 to a degree, though, do you? It's better than any other, like a score draw, because your keeper gets a mad high rating.
Well, I was about to say, my keeper's kept me in it. Like, all their highlights have been saved, you know? Big man's been on it.
Oh, over the bar.
Gave away a lot of rev share on him, so he's earning his crust today.
Oh, yeah.
No. Is it in? Oh, yeah. Oh,
you got one. You got a chance.
Oh, no.
No, this is counter-attack of dreams, this is.
Big long ball. Go on, keeper. Go on, find him. Nah, it's done.
That's right. Aren't they right below you in the projections?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right, isn't it?
That's all right. 7th.
They've actually got a best 16 average compared to you, like a little bit better.
It's best 16. Yeah, they do. Wee bit ahead. So see one thing, again, you mentioned this as well, right? But my, what's NB, is that number of players?
Yeah, number of players, yeah.
Yeah, my squad was one of the biggest in the league.
It was when this was taken, but those other guys could have like added players all the way up until today.
This, no.
It apparently updates like either tonight or tomorrow after the transfer window's closed. It'll update, and then mid-season it'll update again. So maybe check tomorrow or the day after, and you'll get like a bit of a clearer understanding of where you actually are in the table.
Nice. Because that was one thing I thought when I looked at this. I was like, well, if I've got like an extra 4 players that are like high 60s, that's
over the course of the
shit
season,
down.
it will pay dividends for sure, or even in the cups or anything like that. But yeah.
So yeah, that was that draw. Unlucky Barcelona. That's the first game, I think. No, it's not. It can't be the first. I was going to say, I think that may be the first game I've not scored in.
Look at that, 9.1. Mate, if he hasn't progressed after that, I'd be straight on the progression page having a look at whether he's upgraded or not.
Yeah. Could be a good one.
Oh, is our assist for Declan Rice? Yes, it is. Let's go. A Harry Kane goal, a Declan Rice assist. I'm winning so rare today.
Well done.
I captained Miles Lewis-Skelly in one of my teams as well because of his England debut, and he went and bagged a goal, didn't he? So happy with that.
Nice. When you said the England game was on, I was like, oh, I forgot there was football on the night.
Yeah.
But that's good. I got a Bellingham assist on my common team earlier today. That's the only notification I've had.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. Man, I might have some really big lineups on Sorare today. Oh, I have. I captained Declan Rice in International Nights Rare in season, and he's on 91 points at the moment.
Cooking.
Yeah, and I've got Harry Kane in there as well. Did you see Mamardashvili, the goalkeeper, got an assist for Georgia a couple of nights ago? Yeah.
Oh, a few nights ago.
Yeah, so I came second in under 23 rare. Guess what tier player I got?
4.
Yeah. How mad is that? He doesn't play. I've never heard. He's like a J League nobody, like worth about £2 for second place. Savage. He was savage.
It's always the way with internationals, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Screw job.
It is. It's all part of like it's all part of the fun though, isn't it? It's good. Oh, Lewandowski scored for Poland as well. Let's go.
Aye, Lewandowski will
Oh,
get a hat trick, mate. That's a stat padder of a fixture.
he is, mate. Yeah. Do you see the daily objectives now in So Rare?
I seen them and I understood them better after watching your video this
Oh, is that
morning.
right? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Thanks. So
because
I put
I meant to
Harry
deal with
Kane
them
in.
yesterday and I just didn't even look at it. And then when your video came out, I was like, oh, cool, I'll just listen to this and then I'll be fine.
Yeah. So I put Harry Kane, Lewandowski, rare, and Harry Kane limited, and they've all got decisive now. So that's 400 rare XP and 200 limited XP coming my way.
Jackpot.
Oh, mate, it might be the best rare manager on earth. Who knows?
Aye. And you can take that title away from Pranksy then.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking, John that like works with Pranksy. I was messaging him today, just saying like, does Pranksy know about MFL? And he's like, oh, like not really. Like they don't really have much time to fit another game in. And I was like, well, MFL after you kind of like do the initial investment period and whatnot, doesn't really take much time if you don't want to for the rest of the season. You could just log on once a day, flip your team around, log off again, and nothing done. So hopefully Pranksy is going to get involved in MFL pretty soon as well. Be nice.
I'd be right. I think they play Footium.
Oh, do they? I like Footium, but it's just not as good as MFL, is it?
Never really touched it, to be honest with you.
Is that
mate.
right? Yeah.
Nah. Like when they first came on the scene, they were like, I was talking actually to Harry about this. It was after today's show or last week's, but like they gave Harry a club. They gave everybody clubs like back in the day when they first came on, and that kind of thing. And I just never bothered with it. I was just like staying in my lane. Like I'll just stick to Sorare for the time being, And the MFL thing was like, I don't know. I did look at the website Footium and all that. I don't know, but it felt like when I opened this, it just kind of hugged me.
Yeah, yeah.
It was weird.
Did you play Football Manager back in the day?
Oh yeah, mate. Like
it's got the old school FM vibes, isn't it? Like the really
time.
old, the almost Championship Manager, like 98, 99, 2000 vibes, where it's like way before gaming became what it became. Championship Manager was so basic like this, and it just brings that back to me where I'm like, okay, this is me. This is my childhood right in front of my eyes, which is why I like it so much.
Yeah, I'm the same. I spent like I don't even know how many hours on Football Manager over the years. I had to ban myself from it, like when I got jobs and grew up in that, because I was just I was just mad for it. Like I would run into the 50 years in the future, like on every edition,
Yeah.
Like I would just, and that's one thing I'm trying to get this across in my content sometimes when I'm doing this stuff. But that's what this game is like to me. Is like Football Manager when it's all regens. See once you've went like 15 years down the road.
Yeah.
That's when I have the most fun on Football Manager. When it's
Yeah.
like everything's like, I don't want to say fake, but it's all like it's not the real players, and
Yeah.
you're not got like all the established stars somewhere and all that, and you can maybe try and unearth them yourself. So
Yeah.
I don't mind that I don't know the real player. I'm kind of used to that with Football Manager. Like I love regens. It was a
Yeah. Oh, you and me both. So one of my best saves was FMO8. I got this. So there was in the Football Manager forums back in the day, they used to do this challenge where you would create a manager, you would holiday for a year, and then you would take a newly promoted team that wasn't in the game before at the bottom level of football and try and do things with them. Ooh. And so I holidayed for a year. I got this team called Knockbrader from Northern Ireland, I think they were, and they'd just been promoted to like the Northern Ireland second division. And about like 20 years later, I was like, I think I won the Champions League once in about 40 years because like the way it was then that you had static efficiency, like static coefficients. So I could, no matter how much I won, I was never good enough to like, bring the top stars in. So I had to rely on like youth. And I got this one like kid, and he ended up like scoring like over 1,000 goals for me, which was insane in Football Manager. Like he was so good. And it was my favorite time ever. And I ended up like trying to follow the club and get a club shirt and stuff, but they don't really exist in real life. They're such a small town club, they don't sell shirts. They don't they have like a 500 seat stadium in real life. But because like I used to document my journey like on the Football Manager forums, Dan, the owner of FM, like reached out and he's like, can we please see a save file? Because we want to know how you're scoring so many goals. So I sent it to him, and it turns out I was unintentionally like using a bug from like set pieces where 50% of his goals just kept coming from set pieces, and it wasn't popular, like nobody knew it. I didn't know it was a bug or anything, but it's like, oh, like you're just scoring so many goals because of this specific tactic you had. You just score goal after goal. Every set piece is a goal, is a goal, is a goal. And because you had him in that specific positioning on the set piece, he was a beneficiary of like all the goals. I was like, oh, nice. Like,
That's sweet.
so yeah, I was playing that. Like, I was so like in love with that save in FM08 that I didn't buy FM09 or FM10 because I just kept playing that save for like 3 years of my life. Like, it's pretty mad time, but yeah, Football Manager's different, man, and that's what MFL brings to me. That whole like, I want to see these players in like a year in real lifetime. Like, where are they? What have they done for me? Like, how have they grown? How have they progressed? You know?
I was thinking that the other day because when it seems whenever I go on the market now, everyone on the market that you can buy is like 28.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, really, like, when will they retire? If a season's every 6 weeks, they go up, da 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 da. And I was thinking, like, all these guys might not be here in a year. Like,
Yep.
you know, so when you said that there, I'm like, yeah, I was thinking about that the other day, but I'm not too confident I'll be able to, it'll be their whole career. Maybe at that point
Yeah.
you're looking at, you know, rather than where are they and where are you?
You got to think though, if you manage to grab like a 16-year-old right now, and they manage to be lucky enough to hit like 39 or 40 or 41 or 42 before they retire, it would genuinely be like 3 years of real world time before they retire. Like, that's an insane amount of time on the game, isn't it?
That would be huge. There's not many 16-year-olds that are first team ready, but is there?
There's not. If you click on MFL on the top left there, yeah, then click on the little scouting symbol, the magnifying glass or whatever, and then just change the age to 16. There's not even many 16-year-olds at all. Go to all on the scouting page. Yeah, you got it. There's not that many 16-year-olds at all, but one of them is mine.
This guy, 81.
Yeah, he's insane, isn't he?
What?
If that's not a 99 rated player, I don't know what is.
Just fresh out the
Yeah,
packet.
fresh. Yeah. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see my guy's like the third from bottom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I've heard you mention this guy. Yeah, you love this guy, don't you?
Yeah, but look at his pace shooting and physical for a
6'3".
42-year-old. Yeah, 6'3". If like, you know how like you don't know what they've got, and that's what like really interests me, right? If he's like 80 or 90 rated potential, he's going to be in a dev center for probably 2 cycles, so 8 seasons. He'll go in a dev center because if he's got high potential, I'll hit his prime age so early that he'll come out of the dev center at 24, and I'll be able to have like 7, 8, 9 years of him as like in his prime age, and he'll just like cook for me. So yeah, he's going to be there for a long time.
You think you'll throw him back in after the first 4 seasons for another 4?
If his progression is really good, I will. Because even if his progression is really good, he'll still only come out as like a 60 or a 65 rated, which isn't like insane. So I will dump him back in. If his progression is terrible and he comes out as like a 44 or 45 or whatever, I'll just probably find a club to just play him at.
Fair enough. I think there's a fair chance that let's could kick on, man. Like say some of the stats lead quite well.
They're nice, aren't they? They are nice.
I like that. I don't think I'll get any. I think the youngest player I've had is maybe like 18 or 19. They've maybe aged up a bit now. So I threw a bunch of guys in, mainly goalkeepers. I chucked in young goalkeepers for 4 years.
Yeah, that's smart, to be fair. That is smart because they're cheap as well, aren't they, to put in there at that point?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm not going to use them anyway. This is the only guy I put in it thinking hopefully he can be a first team player because he's Scottish and he's called Colin McRae. But
see, again, what I love about players like that is like he's 63 overall, 65 pace, 68 dribbling, 65 physical, 70 passing. Like if you look at him in that website, I bet you he's insane at like left mid or right mid.
Yeah,
I bet you he's like up towards like 7, maybe not 70, but like 66, 67.
Only one Colin McRae in the game.
Indeed. Mate,
18 quid?
That's solid, isn't it, to be fair? Yeah, he's not. I'm really surprised at that because his pace is decent for his rating. His passing and dribbling are decent for his rating. It's that shooting that lets him down, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. If you set him to like shoot less and then dribble more and be direct, you could play him at right mid and he'll be like solid as.
Yeah. I think it's that defensive stat that really holds him back.
Yeah.
For right back and centre defensive mid.
$18, that's all right, mate.
That's what I think, I don't think it was worth that much before.
So wait, hold on. If you sold him, if you listed him now and somebody bought him, does he stay in your development centre?
I can't actually list him.
Oh, fair enough. There you go. answers that
That's an
question.
interesting question. If it could have.
Yeah.
But aye. So otherwise I've just chucked in wee keepers. This guy's a midfielder. Aye, he was young when I chucked him in. 19 maybe. Don't really look at his stats.
I've got a really fun player. Let me find him. And,
Feel
if you
free to share
go
screen
to
if you
my
want.
click on players there, and then just click on centre mids.
Sorry, say that again.
Centre mids. Just click on centre mid on like the right hand side filters on my actual my account.
Oh, on your account.
Yeah,
Apologies, mate. Sorry.
that's all right.
I'll find you. I'll find you this way.
Yeah, there you go. I was surprised how few 16-year-olds there were in the game altogether. So just click on players from there up the top.
Yeah.
And then, centre mid from the right-hand side there.
Oh, yeah.
And then look at... What's his name? Scroll down a tiny little touch for me, please. Bit more. Yeah, Kiel, the German centre mid. 51 rated. Look at those stats.
Wow. Yeah,
That's
very
insane,
good.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that is good.
If he's got some good progression and is like a 65 or 70 rated card, by the time he hits potential, he's going to be ridiculous.
Some level of detail in his hair, eh?
Yeah, yes. He's got a full-on man bun, hasn't he? He looks like a Viking, doesn't he? No wonder why he's got the good strength.
Yeah, a couple of legs in that beard as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a topper, man. I like that. And he's just fresh out as well. Had one season.
Yeah, he didn't actually, I got him as a referral, late on in that previous season. So he's not actually, that old. He hasn't had that much training experience or anything.
Keel, I think you've mentioned him in your videos as well. That rings a wee bell.
Yeah.
When I heard you
I'm
say his
really
name.
excited about him, yeah.
That's a cool one. And then, have you had much going on? Oh, you've got a wee puff.
Fair bit, to be fair. Fair bit. Click on overall again. There's about 7, maybe 8 or 9 players. Oh, that's weird. Oh, it's because you're not on my actual. You're on that one team rather than the.
Sorry. Rather than the whole agency.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a power. Was it this guy I went for?
Yeah, that was him. Yeah.
Oh, 90 shooting. That's why I liked him. I was like,
Yeah.
that did me perfect.
But the rest of him is garbage, to be fair.
Yeah.
That shooting, I'm pretty sure that might be a little boost on him right here today because I'm pretty sure that was 89 before.
Yeah, he's went up. He's went up from 74 to 75 maybe?
Yeah, he got the scarcity breaker last season, which was nice.
And these jabronis aren't playing him. Yeah, they're bronze. Yeah.
Bronze, yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe I was that guy. I think I maybe just heard bronze and thought I was above that.
Yeah, maybe.
I've just been an idiot.
Because when you said it in your video, I was like, fuck, did I accidentally click on, maybe I just accidentally accepted the wrong offer. Do you know what I mean? Because there's so many messages in that section.
I assumed that's what happened anyway. I was just having a bit of banter on the video as well.
But no, it turns out you're just not good enough, mate. That's all.
Gotta get promoted.
But no, he hasn't got any minutes under his belt yet. So, but I was really impressed because he came out as a 74, obviously. And in the white paper, it says that it's harder for them to break to the new tier. There's a lot more XP needed. So when he got to that new tier in the first season, I was like, okay, this guy's going to go because he's already hit that, gone to a rare.
Once he starts playing, especially in that higher division, because that's the main thing. Actually, that's something I wanted to check today. Was my star man has been bitching and moaning on his player page ever since I got him that he wants to be at a higher level and all that caper. He's still doing it.
Do you reckon that impacts the way they perform in game?
He's been obviously a rinse master for me since I got him. 35, 19, 25 goals a season.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
He's been saying this the whole time, but he's not scored this year. Oh, he scored 2. But training's at a decent level, but his teammates aren't pushing him enough. You've been saying that all the time. I keep making the team better.
what's your best 16 overall for this team?
According to this, I'd say it's that.
Yeah, 74.1. And what rating is he?
84.
Yeah, so he's 10 above the best 16. So he's actually missing out on training. I would have probably agency'd him out.
Everyone keeps telling me to do that, but he's my talisman.
Yeah, but you will get so much more MFL because you could loan him out maybe 2 divisions above from just even 4 or 5%. And it's not like you can't get another striker in there that will still keep you in and around the area that you're at.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe
an
if I don't
agreement
get
transfer
promoted this year, maybe I'll think about it. But I
next
just
year,
think it's a
mate. If
short
you're
it's a
retiring
short
next year,
career. It's a short career, you know.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
And he sells a lot of shirts, brings a lot of revenue in, you know, gets the bums on seats.
is that when they had that as a thing, that'd be sick, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? Could you imagine that? Like, I'm really like looking forwards to them introducing like stadiums and training facilities and having to either use time or MFL to kind of like progress them. And like, even if it's just like micro benefits rather than like, how like the dev center gives you 120% XP. It's nothing huge to the point where it's game breaking. If you could have like a training facility where it gives everybody like an extra 1% or 2% at the end of a match or the end of a training session, that would be sick. And like if you then could have like a stadium where you gain an MFL multiplier towards like at the end of every game where you gain some MFL based on how many seats you fill and stuff, like how sick would that actually be?
Yeah. I like the. I managed to change. I figured out how to change my stadium name this season. I don't know if you've worked that one out yet
Yeah, I have.
yourself.
Yeah, I got told in my video. Yeah,
So I've had good fun with that. I've been waiting for that kind of thing, and yeah, that's the sort of next level. Um, there's like a good bit of chat coming in on the live chat. So fist bumps to you all. I'm catching bits and bobs of it, but there's a bit of breaking news here. It feels like on the timeline, David Taylor looks like Sorare are buying out SD.
this came from. There was a tweet earlier on today. SD, Sorare Data as a company have dissolved. So you know how like I don't know if you have Company's House in Scotland, but we have
Yeah,
Company's House here. So on the Company's House in
we have the
France,
same
they've
company's
dissolved.
house.
Oh, is
It's
that
a
right?
UK
Yeah,
thing.
fair, there you go. Fair enough. Yeah. So like Sorare Data is dissolved as a company. I don't necessarily know that means it doesn't exist anymore. Maybe they're just rebranding, or like maybe Sorare have literally bought them out and it's still going to continue as normal, but they're just under the Sorare umbrella. Like it doesn't mean that Sorare Data is necessarily going to disappear.
It's a weird one because that the first thing I think about is Laird.
Yeah, he's just left Sorare Data. Yeah, but that again
So
could like lean towards a restructuring or a purchase from So Rare, where they're like, look, we'll take over from here, so all other employees are no more, and we'll just take it from here.
so sacking Laird was part of the takeover agreement.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, got to get him out. Got to get him gone, mate. That's it.
That's a funny one. Is there an actual tweet out then about it?
Not a tweet from Sorare or Sorare Data. It's just like some of the. Do you know MD?
MDJ?
Yeah, MDJ. Yeah, yeah. So I think it's a she. She tweeted it.
Yeah, yeah. Mel. Oh, well, I've just been on our page and it says the last tweet is deleted or something.
Oh, well, there you go. So maybe it was misinformation then.
Like this thing here.
Yeah. So the post that's unavailable is either from somebody you blocked or because it was somebody posting the fact that Sorare Data had been dissolved. But also, like when you go on Sorare Data, it's still there. So, like,
Yeah. It's a weird one. Hi, Mel's cool. Mel's a friend of the channel. And stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, well, I say don't really know anything about that, but it's all over the Discord. Discord's for dorks, Nep, isn't it?
it is, mate. Who uses Discord?
What?
It's all over Sorare Discord too. Fair enough.
Yeah. Good evening, Liam. Good to see you. One thing I was wanting to, I was going to chew over when we were on this tonight. In any case, was like, there's been a few like nice wee. I say nice wee. There's been a few. There's been a few nice wee developments. We're chatting daily missions and that earlier on. But one thing I wanted to get your take on, and as I'm setting this up, I am aware that I just had a wee nudge from next door. I'm going to need to run away from the camera for a minute, but
No worries.
before I do that, I'll hang on as long as I can. But I'll just need about 2 seconds. But what do you make of this whole Klarna thing?
Yeah, I immediately messaged like my rep at So Rare. I was like, "Can I please just get some background on why you're partnering with them?" And they were pretty upfront about it. They were like, "Look, Klarna's like it's well used in the UK. It's like it's a reputable service or whatever." And they are right, but also it's like for me personally, I would never advise anyone to use it. I would in fact advise against people to use it because it is a slippery slope to financial devastation by putting things on like layaway or delay. Because it's very easy to be like, oh, I spent 100 quid on a card, I'll pay that in 30 days. And then within that 30 days, something like, your gearbox goes in your car and you're like, fuck, I've got to use that money now for this. And then you miss your payment on Klarna. Now you get fees. And before you know it, you're just in a financial hole from something that you couldn't possibly have like foreseen. So I won't talk about it or reference it or push people towards it at all because I think it's a bad idea for people to get involved in.
Yeah, it's definitely not something I'll be kind of. Yes, it's similar to yourself. I never really thought about it in the content sense, but yeah, it's very, very much how I'll be kind of looking at it. My first thought was like, on that note, like I know it's very easy for them to say like, oh, it's a reputable company and all the rest of it, but would they have done it with Wonga? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, just because it's called Klarna, is it maybe a wee bit easier to? Oh well, it's just a facility, forget
Yeah.
about it. But if it was like Wonga or like a bit more of a, the sort of company that really lives that stereotype, if it was one of
Yeah.
them, they probably wouldn't have done it.
No, they probably wouldn't have done.
But did
However,
you
I
see
did
what
see.
Klarna have done today?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I saw
Yeah.
that maybe Klarna are just doing things, man. Maybe we're in the wrong here. I don't know.
The new PayPal
Yeah. Yeah.
could be something crazy.
Indeed.
But the first thing I thought was, oh, I wouldn't mind that personally, right? And I'll kind of keep this to there, and then I probably won't. But like at the beginning of the season, like especially this year, looking at in season, like if I wanted to buy a Schmeichel at the beginning of the season, I just was not doing it. But with this, it makes me think if I really wanted it, I know I could, and then I'd have got it for the beginning of the season, and I can get that utility. And yeah, I trust myself with that kind of financial instrument. Of course, it's not for everyone. Of course, I've had Wonga in the past. I've had those bad experiences. I've been put in the hole, and I know how to make sure I don't get back into it. But I did think, I can see why there's maybe something there. But I think the overall stigma and the fear most people have is very justified, and
yeah.
it's a weird one overall.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. As I don't mind people. I would probably never use it because I know that I would end up looking at someone like, I don't know, for you, Schmeichel, but me like a David Raya. And it would be like up for a price I wasn't really willing to pay. And I'd be like, you know what, let me put it on Klarna. Let me like get some revenue back from using him for the first few weeks that will like cover off the overpay. And then I'll be all right. Like, and then what will happen is 2 weeks later, it'll be like half the price. And I'm like, for fuck's sakes, he's got a red card in the first game. He's out for 4 games, and then that's it. No, so for me, it's just a complete no-go area. Yeah,
Yeah, no, fair enough. I never really thought, but yeah, that was just my first thought. It's like, oh well, if I wanted to buy 3 Schmeichels next year, like I could do it.
yeah. I mean, for that, it's all right. But I think Sorare is in a place right now where.
Sorry, give me 2 seconds. I'll be
Yeah,
up.
no worries. I'll keep the chat occupied. So Dobbsy says, "Effers took 8 quid off me yesterday. Better not be shut down." Yeah, sorry, Dave. Like I said, I don't know, guys. Right? I'm in the know on a lot of things. I'm not in the know on Sorare data. When I saw that thing today, it was news to me. It did tie in immediately with me thinking, oh, Leds just left Sorare data, and then Sorare data now have dissolved as a company. My first thought wasn't Sorare data's disappearing. My first thought was Sorare have bought out Sorare data and don't want to bring on the staff with them and will use their own team to carry on with Sorare data. And us as consumers, nothing will change. I don't know that as fact. Do not quote me on that. But that was my first thought, was like, Sorare have picked up Sorare data. Like, that's cool. The truth of the matter is, though, like, let's say worst case scenario, right? Let's say worst case scenario, Sorare data is literally just shutting down for whatever reason. The way this industry works, especially with AI, like coming up massive these days, a new site will be there in a heartbeat. Maybe not as good as Sorare data, or maybe not the same as Sorare data, but there will be a new site very, very quickly. So, I wouldn't necessarily worry. Oh, he's back. There you go. I held the fort down, mate. I held the fort down. Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, you're sweating after that. Where do you do a run around the block or what?
Pretty much, I had to leg it.
Was AT ready?
So do you think Sorare data will keep going then?
Well, so as I was just saying to chat there, like there's two things. Like, either Sorare bought them out and literally just don't want the staff and they're going to run it in-house and just want Sorare data's like functionality, which for me makes the most sense. At which point us as consumers, we won't know any different. Like nothing will change for us. It's just the behind the scenes stuff that will change. That'll be fine. The alternative is Sorare data are actually closing down. At which point, first of all, Sorare has taken off so much of Sorare data anyway, hasn't it? Like it's got a lot there. But also a new site will show up within days of like, so like a Sorare data V2 will just show up so quickly that gives a similar functionality. It won't be as good or it won't be the same as Sorare data, but a new site will be there.
It's so like the play sharper vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, play sharper. Now what have you got? You've got what do you guys use sponsored by the
Predictor
Fire? Yeah, like I use them now every day because Sorare data kind of got that reputation of being like a bit misleading. Like people would purposefully go and put the wrong stuff in, and I got burnt by it a few times, so I don't use it anymore.
Yeah, I say it's just a bit of a shocking one when I seen it in the chat. And sorry, I'm catching my breath back after.
What, did you actually have a little sprint around? Did you?
I actually had to run. Yeah. Mum was dropping stuff off. She said, "I'll be there in 5 minutes." I was like, "Oh shit!" So run down the stairs. Gotta go.
Yeah, fair enough.
But no, I just found that overall surprising, and the layered thing as well. That's just in the back of my head. That why,
Yeah.
Don't Sorare like layered? Wouldn't they?
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe layered is part of Sorare now, and he's like, a new style.
Undercover layered.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know. You don't know, do you? You might be getting paid in a different manner from Sorare, and they're just like, hey, you just carry on doing you, keep playing Sorare, and we'll facilitate that handsomely for you.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
That would be nice, yeah.
But that's just the main thing I can't shake about it. Is like, why would Laird do that? I'm sure it's not really of his vocation more than anything, but why would that happen? Last Friday he announced it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
And then these rumours have come out today, a week later.
Yeah, it is a little bit coincidental, isn't it? Both things happening within such a small space of time.
What would the reason be that they would shut down? Maybe they're just not making. I don't know. It must have a fair amount of people playing subs,
Yeah, the only thing I could think of based on so for Ultimate Team, there's a few sites out there. Footbin now, like I work with them, they like sponsor me, and there used to be this feature on Footbin called Generations, and so you'd click on a card on Footbin, and you click on their generations, and you could see all their previous cards within the games.
Ooh.
They got rid of that feature, and immediately I was like, guys, what the hell? This feature was insane. We loved it. And they're like, to store that much data was so expensive. Now think about Sorare data and how much data they store. Every time you click on a player, you've got where they finished, when they finished, how much they earned, the points they got. You can go through your whole history of reward, your match days for years of every single result you ever had. The amount of money it must cost to store that data must genuinely be insane.
Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of that stuff is kind of wasted on me because I'm not really in that space of website construction and management and whatever, but
yeah,
it's a fair point because I've actually used Sorare data now for graphics more than Sorare, in the sense of if I need cards, if you right click a card on Sorare, you can't save it as a JPEG or whatever the other file name is, but on Sorare data you can.
Yeah, you can.
So they're all saved there as image files.
Yeah,
like every card, every serial number.
And so that would be my best guess as to why they might just not be able to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
But with that, they could just change it. They could go to one season history, or you pay super premium, $100 a month to get the sort of back end data or something. I don't know, but
yeah, fair enough. It's hard for me to say much more on it because I've literally heard about it right now, so I can't.
Yeah,
I'm just kind of open air speculating with it all. But there was the Klarna thing, and then there was something else that was kind of not the daily missions, because I know we spoke on that's a bit of a win, but there was something else around that Klarna point where there was something else that kind of got announced, or I can't remember what it was now. Maybe I'm misremembering again, but I thought there was something else this week that was the double up. Was it the double up stuff and craft for half?
Yeah, the craft for half was pretty good. I know you got a bit of luck there, didn't you?
Got my only bit of luck crafting for the season. Yeah. Finally came.
Yeah, that was good. I didn't get so much luck, unfortunately.
You made I listened to yours. You made the mistake of not recording it all.
Yeah, mate. So I pressed like the period on my keyboard to record and unrecord.
Oh.
And so I pressed period. I looked at it. Then somebody messaged me, and I responded to them, and I ended the sentence with a period. Then I went straight back to my camera. What's up, guys and vendors here? Start recording, and afterwards, like, fuck! Like, I know exactly what I did. Like, I know exactly how I didn't record it, and it was like 40 minutes of recording. Doesn't exist anywhere. So, yeah.
The one that always does me is like sometimes I'll be sitting here doing it, and then like if there's other people in the house, sometimes I'll just hit on mute.
Yeah.
It's all you get the file done at the end, send it over to get edited, and it's like there's no audio.
Yeah, there's no audio, mate. Yeah, I've been through that a few times. Yeah, it's pain. My this thing here, my wavelength.
Ooh.
This top of this is like touch.
Ooh.
At least my headphones are now because it's on headphones rather than mic. So if like my kids are in here like pissing about and stuff, and they touch it, I don't know it's touched because it's like faced away from me. So I'll start like recording, and then like my editor will be like, "Mate, there's no audio." I'm like, "That's impossible. You can hear me right now. Like, how can there not be any audio?" And he's like, "I don't know. There's no audio." I look at this. I'm like, "Oh, it's red. Brilliant." I'm like, the whole thing not recorded. Brilliant.
That's a gadget that maybe backfires, eh?
Yeah.
Dobsy, Harry was on a private stream for about 5 minutes the other day.
That happens on YouTube. Sometimes, like, you know how like do you use Streamlabs OBS to go live?
Yeah,
Streamlabs?
most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to like select the YouTube thing that you've created, like the YouTube stream that you created. Sometimes even if you select it and click go live, it doesn't like click into it or lock into it. So it just sends you live randomly on your channel.
Yeah, I've had that problem.
Yeah.
And it's not that you've really prepped it and got the thumbnail sitting there, and then it just throws out in a new one.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time. It's a Streamlabs issue. And so, if Harry's like, sometimes I've been sitting there for like, sometimes even 20 minutes. I'm like, man, like stream chat is dead today. Like, you know, by my standards. And I'm like, right, I'm not on, like, nobody knows I'm live. I'm just here by myself. That's fun.
So yeah, the trials and tribulations. But your crafts, your craft seemed to go pretty well. I forget what I seen you pulled, but you went through rares and limiteds and stuff. And I seen you had a bit of fun with it as well. I bought a bunch of. I did the thing where I was going to buy 5 limiteds to get. Was it 5 or 4? I was going to buy 5 or 4 limiteds to get some more essence in, because all the limiteds I craft I give away. But after I bought 3 of them, I found the cheapest guys, like one minimum instant buy bids. And after I bought 3 of them, someone in the chat was saying, "Oh, I bought MLS ones to go and get the MLS mission as well." And I was like, "Fuck!" And then I went out and did that as well. So I ended up with like 8 cards for just no reason, like just to get essence. And it was good fun in the end. Everyone had a riot with it, but it was very good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was definitely a bit of a strategy, but to take a lot of essence out of the equation now, don't you think?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Sorare do well with it. Like, I saw a lot of people like complain about the minimum price listing at like $2 now for the limiteds. I don't think this is a problem personally. Like, if you're not buying them, other people buying them at $2 is of no consequence to you for 2 reasons. Number one, it's loads more money in Sorare's pocket, which means better reward pools. That's good for everyone. But number two, it just means the secondary market actually has value, because now when somebody lists up at 50 or 60p, you can buy 3 of them for the same price as one from Sorare, which gives you the same 30 collection score as if you bought one from Sorare. So all of a sudden, the secondary market for those tier 4s, tier 5s becomes far more like fruitful. And so when you pull a tier 4, tier 5, you can actually sell it for 50p rather than having it sit there for like 3 weeks going, well, nobody's going to want this pile of crap because they can get it for 30p on the auction house. So I think it's all around a smart decision from Sorare.
Yeah, no, I've thought about it like that. That's a good point. I never thought about it in that sense. I also kind of thought, like, I mentioned this a few times, so sorry if anyone's heard that again, but it just reminded me a lot of, I worked in Arnold Clark for a short time after I had my first kid. And I don't know if you heard me say this or if you know this at all, right? So sorry, right? But I'll repeat it for the sake of repeating it. But, in Arnold Clark, you know Arnold Clark, don't you? You know what it is?
No.
Oh, do you not? It's car sales, basically.
Okay.
They're massive in Scotland, and I'm a wee bit surprised you've not heard of them, because the way they advertise themselves is Europe's largest independent car retailer or whatever. So I don't know, I just assumed they maybe have a few branches down your way. But what they do or what they did anyway, is all their prices ended in a 5. So like 14,995, fucking whatever, right? And when I was working there for the short time I was there, Arnold Clark, the man, died. And then like the board took over or whatever. And the first thing they did is they changed the last number of every price to 9. So out of their million cars they just raised like £4 a car on
Yeah.
market value, on asset value, on everything, just by upping the price by £4. So I had that going in my head with the limiteds when it went up a wee bit. It's like, oh, it's a very easy way of just
Yeah.
getting a wee bit more for like everything kind of thing. So
Yeah, it is, and that's it's one of those subconscious things that people play on with the mind, isn't it? Like if you see it at 15,000, you're like, oh, that's a bit expensive. If you see it at 14,999, like, well, it's all right, isn't it?
it's under 15k. We're
Yeah,
doing
it's
all
under
right.
15 grand. That's all right.
But I never thought about that angle on the secondary market. I think that's really clever for the, if you do have some tier 5, tier 4 fodder, there can be a reason for you to go to this, or it's less of a negative to go to the secondary market to buy it, because there will be a price difference guaranteed.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because you kind of make up for those collection scores, first owners and whatnots. For sure. I quite enjoyed it. I was really determined to keep all my essence till next year. Recently, see when, I don't know what game week it was, but it was within the last fortnight. I was like, nah, I'm locking in now for next year. And when this came along, it was just like, YOLO.
Yeah, it's hard not to, isn't it? But I wonder if they did that on purpose because maybe too many people like stacking essence. I wonder if they saw in the back end like, oh my god, like we're gonna have loads of people with like star pools from day one. We need to give them a reason to rip their essence now. And so everyone's like, oh, I can get a tier 2 instead of a tier 4 or a tier 3. Let's go, let's do it. And then everyone just gets the worst tier 2s because all the stars have gone. Like the guy Caicedo that you pulled was 90 out of 100.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like, obviously Saka's been injured for a while now, but wonder what like Rice is, for example, or like who's like top player in the like Bellingham or something like that. Like, yeah, Rice is only at 83. Bellingham is 83 as well. So yeah, maybe it's a combination of having a fair few cards still to get rid of for this season, and wanting people to not have banks of essence for next season.
Yeah, because there will be that case of like, they don't want to be rewarding. Like Laird was giving them some shit for doing the jersey numbers, like the Bellinghams and the Yamals and whatever. And there's some merit to that. So it's maybe that aspect of, well, we're going to give all these cards away by the end of the season. People will be pretty pissed if we give them away with no win season utility. So maybe we'll fire a fair few through. A tongue twister for me. But yeah, I think everyone just jumps to the malicious, don't they? And they just think they're just trying to take our essence. Just trying to take the essence off us. But there may have been something a bit more sincere at play there, for sure.
Yeah, the prices of like Bellingham's in season right now is like under £400, and that is still a lot of money for a lot of people. But I think like there's still 10 game weeks left plus internationals. Like that's still a lot of utility for one of the best players on the platform. Like for just £400.
That becomes a lot more appealing when you have a squad.
Yeah,
missing a guy like that, But it's not like you could buy him and go, fuck it, I'll play in season for 5 weeks,
Yeah, so you have to buy all the partners with him, don't you? Yeah.
But you've already got a squad, because I was going to show you something, because I brought this up on the deadline show, and I know you're normally cracking the whip then anyway, so you probably wouldn't have caught it. But I pulled off a sweet wee trade in that same kind of vein of like prices dropping and whatever. And this was off the back of some chat we had with the gallery reviews at the beginning of the week. But I got my second rare Schmeichel, and his prices come down, and it's not come down too much, right? But it's about 250, 180 quid now, whereas like he's been mega. But I got this. I've went through a wee period of like buying some pieces that are like in seasons mainly, but they're like £10, £15, a fiver, but they're like good players. So I had a bunch of them, and then you'll see what else I did. But no money changed hands. But I gave him a Balcombe, which is a Scottish keeper. I had 2 of them in rare in season. Van der Voort, he insisted on having. I kind of want a Leipzig Van der Voort anyway. But then all these in-season guys that are just, I got for like a tenner, that are now maybe worth 20 quid or 15 quid because they've been playing now, and I got them when they were injured and shit. Salazar I got because he was meant to be moving to Zenit, didn't work out, so he's useless to me now. Lagerbielke's been cool. And I won Urbig last year, and he's on a price spike now because of the Bayern utility.
Yeah.
So I wrapped all that up and turned it into a wee Schmeichel, you know.
Yeah,
I thought it was
I
a
like
pretty
that.
shrewd move. I quite liked it myself. I thought I'd share it. So I thought that's kind of the sort of thing. Like I think that now with some people, like I know with the Bellingham, you're maybe thinking about buying it, but maybe some people out there, maybe you've got a lot of stuff like me here. Throughout the
Yeah.
season, you've been collecting 30 quid mids and 20 quid centre backs.
And so the
Maybe
benefit that you have as well is you've already got 5% collection score, which goes straight on him. You got that in season, and you bought like mint 9, so he's been around for a long time. His XP must be pretty high as well.
never really thought about the XP. 5.
Yeah, I
Halfway.
mean that's solid. Yeah, that is solid.
Yeah, that is good.
So yeah, like you've got 15% Schmeichel traded in for a pile of crap that you'll never use. That's epic, isn't it?
That's what I think, eh?
Yeah,
So the Bellingham thing, like, there's maybe a spot there for yourself or maybe for other people out there where it's like, well, how many of these guys do I need for Classic next year? You
yeah.
know? And some of the fodder, some of the bits you pick up, just wrap them up and throw them away. I've got to 3 limited Schmeichels now as well, Nep, so that I
Is that
can
right?
full on multi,
You're
you
gonna do
know,
it, are you? Yeah.
yeah,
I like
the,
that a lot.
the Celtic Stuttgart thing, I'll just call it.
Go,
You know,
go,
just
go,
like,
go to my gallery a second. Can you search my gallery for cards?
I think so, yeah. See
Yes.
cards.
Yeah. So just type in Hassal.
I heard you
I
mention
am
this.
banking on Lloris getting injured.
Mate.
Like,
Rest
if,
as well. Well done, man.
yeah, just doing it. Mate, it was like 10 quid. You know what I mean? I'm like, the amount of rotation, like Lloris was out randomly last week for literally no reason. And I was like, he's 38 years old now. You know, like if something goes wrong or he gets a red card or something, I've bought enough Hassals to cover off the price of buying the Hassals and to keep some for myself to use as well. And so every time I see them, I've got them set to like a certain price. Every time I see them under a certain price, I'm just going to keep buying them.
Nice. Your strategy's definitely been talk of the town in that sense, because I think everyone's often thought this, you know, like, see what you're doing would be
Yeah.
like shooting fish in a barrel. Why doesn't everyone do it? It's a base camp strategy, just buy backup goalkeepers, you know, but your kind of sweeping approach to it is definitely been interesting to see. Me and Harry again mentioned on the deadline show because MLS is, how many of them have popped off already, by the way?
So I've already sold. I bought Lunt from St. Louis for $2, sold him for 10. I bought Rick from Philly for £2, sold him for £5.50. I bought Rios Novo from Inter Miami for 87p, sold him for a tenner. I bought Maura from Houston Dynamo for £6, sold him for 10. And then I've got 6 goalkeepers listed up right now that are going to play this weekend because of international duty. And you know, like the people that buy these cards, they don't pre-know. So when like I don't know, Blake is out and the backup goalkeeper gets to start, the people that don't know why Blake is out will panic and rush to it. So I'll sell him for another 10 or 20 quid. So I paid £92 for every single backup goalkeeper, and I've already sold 5 of them for £35, and that's at limited level. And we're like 4 games in. So, you know, like Tarbell done his ACL, didn't he? So the backup goalkeeper for Houston, I've managed to sell on. Like, and I just thought, like, the only thing I look at is A, the regret of not buying more than one, and B, the regret of not buying into rare as well. And so, yeah, I'm just like, I think the strategy is just really good. It's a lot of work, like constantly listing them, making sure they're up at a reasonable price for if they do spike. Like I had one goalkeeper up at 15 quid and the replacement came in and the replacement went up to like 13 quid. And so mine just didn't quite get bought. And I'm like, that's poor for me, isn't it? Like I could have sold a £1 goalkeeper for like 10 or 11 quid if I just wasn't greedy. And so it's like staying on top of that takes a bit of effort, a bit of time to like constantly check the prices of them, where they're at, like who's doing what.
Yeah. When you mentioned about selling them into I always struggle with that and where to price them, so that
Yeah.
you get the bite at the right point, you know.
Yeah, for me, it's just about like what would I like, and like I just like 10 quid for a backup goalkeeper like is good because you can buy some of the starting goalkeepers for 10 quid now as well. So yeah, 10 quid for a backup. Yeah, I mean it's just nice, isn't it?
2 pages.
Yeah.
Can I do where's the details thing? There we go. Did we get them all on one page? Nah, not quite.
No, it's all
Sometimes-
those Hassals, mate. That's why.
Sometimes that saves you. Aye, Hassal's a bit of a favourite. I mean, I've been trying to dig out a tweet that's probably... When did Hassal get that start? It was like 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to find that a tweet a wee bit too much these days, but I thought it was funny anyway. I don't know if you'd have seen it. It was a funny one of Hassal when he got that start. So it was so unexpected, wasn't it?
It was. Mate, I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I still don't know what happened with Lloris. To be fair,
I don't know either. I've just
but
got the impression. Oh, there it's there.
I'll show you, Quinny, why I'm so intent on making some money on Hassal.
I tweeted this after the team sheet came out, Nip.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I was like, "How's your game week going?" Oh, it looks better on your phone.
That is funny. That is funny. That's me back in the day.
Oh,
I bought Hassal for £1,700 because he was number one at I can't even remember where. And I remembered back when I was buying it when he went back to LAFC because he was in MLS2 for a year. I was like, oh, like Hassal's back. Like, I wonder what happened to him. And I remembered him being an insanely high scoring keeper. So I looked at his scores, and he just never was. That
he's
is his
U23.
entire. Yeah, but look at like he barely ever played ever. Like, why was I paying £1,700 for this guy? Like, what a joke.
Yeah, I think it's funny how you remember scores. I think it's under 23s. You always remember that about, but
Maybe.
I heard you mentioning Zimmerman and looking back
Yeah.
at his scores and saying back in the day these were boss, and yeah,
They
there's a wee bit
were.
of that with the Zimmermans.
Yeah.
But with young guys, everyone thinks, oh, he had that period where he was ripping.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when John won Super Rare or bought Super Rare Rafael Leao and then sold him again for he bought him for like 2 ETH and sold him for like 6 ETH. And I was thinking about that today for some reason. And I was like, oh man, like John must have done so, like Rafael Leao was so good back then. And I looked at Rafael Leao's score history and he just wasn't. Like he's got a few hundreds and stuff in there, but his scores were always pretty mediocre. Yet people ate him up, and it was because he was under 23, like with that potential of 100. You know?
Aye, and again, players like Leao who are like genuinely exciting. It's so much easier to put them in your team because he's got to go off, he's got to go off, he's got to bang, you know. But yeah, Leao's definitely got a wee bit of that. There's somebody else, I think Laird brought him up recently, but there's somebody else where you think, oh yeah, he ripped for a while, and then you look at his scores, he's got like 3 over 70s or something.
Yeah.
It's just the way you remember things is mental.
Yeah.
I went and looked at his sal because I had a super rare. I was wondering what I paid for it, but I actually got mine for a bargain.
Oh, nice. Damn, that's really good, isn't it?
I don't think I sold them. If it looks like I must have traded them. But
You won't be able to tell ever again in if Sorare data is shutting down.
number 2. I wonder what I did with him. I definitely just played U23 Summer with him, I think. There's the number 1. There's number 2. What did I do? Super Usmani. Oh, this could have been a good trade. What do we think we got for it?
Does he still exist, Super Usman?
Oh, got a wad of cash for it.
Mate, that's mad, isn't it? Look at the cash averages now, 500 quid. See what Rico Man says there. Can't wait for Steve Clark to show back up at Houston. I was really surprised he retired because he literally signed a 1-year extension like halfway through last season. And so I was like, I kept hold of my cards because I was like, nice, he's going to be their goalkeeper again. And then he retired after the season. It wasn't like a predetermined thing or anything. It was like after the season. He was like, yeah, I'm done. He needs to go and get some more tattoos, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. He was long in the tooth, Steve Clark, you know?
Yeah.
He's been around the block.
He has, yeah. He's been around for a while, yeah.
He's got a few medals to his name as well. It's not as if he was I know we've all kind of thrown a bit of shade on him over the last year because he's an old timer and he's been a car crash, but yeah, he's won MLS Cup and stuff. He was a clutch playoff keeper in the day and stuff. He's an OG.
His biggest problem is just his height. Like he was a quality keeper, but he was just, you know, that 3-4 inches too short to be like that top quality keeper, you know?
Aye. That's the one thing about MLS I'm kind of waiting for. Like over the years, like it's slowly happening. We really feel it on Sorare, but like the MLS goalkeeper is going to go the way of the dinosaurs. You know, there will be a day where they've all got a real keeper, like Klarna or Berkey. You know, there's going to be no more Clarks and Yarboroughs and
who's the main guy now? Is that 40-year-old? We're still playing.
Guzan.
Yeah, Guzan. Yeah, mate. Come on, man. He's just someone's dad that they picked out of the stadium, isn't he? They're like, hey, anyone want to throw some gloves on? He's like, yeah, I'll do it.
I love his attitude. I know he's a bit of a meme at times, but He's like, if you ever see any of the interviews they do, like in the locker room or any of the kind of promotional thing, like he's comes out extra cheesy with the American accent and stuff like that, but he's got a good attitude and all. He's a proper like competitor type, you know.
Yeah.
Turned into a real meme whenever Suarez pushed him in the net, but
Oh yeah, yeah. Mate, Suarez. I don't know how he still plays football, mate.
I've not really seen him for Miami much, but everyone who I hear from that's seen him is like he's got no knees and no
Quinny, I
ankles.
tell you what. Last season, one of the games that he started, I was watching like them. They were like walking out onto the pitch and stuff, you know, with the mascots and that. He was walking to the just on like for the pre-match like photo and stuff. He was just walking onto the pitch, and he was grimacing. He was in so much pain just walking around. And I'm looking at him thinking, there's no way this man can like play a game of football. And he got like 3 goals and 2 assists. And it's like, how is this possible? This man literally cannot move, and he is still one of the best players on the park. It's mad.
Suarez is just like top shelf, isn't he?
He
Man?
is, yeah,
Like,
he is. So he's done a few interviews about why he still plays, even though he has to have injections every game and he's got these knee issues. And he literally says he just loves it. He just loves playing the game. He just loves the sport. And you just got to respect that a little bit, haven't you? Like,
yeah,
he goes out there in pain because he just loves doing it.
definitely going to. I suppose I was going to say definitely going to be screwed when he's older, but the way technology is going, he'll probably just shoot some stem cells into him and he'll be fine.
Yeah, you give him a new knee or something, won't they? Yeah.
But it's a big part of it as well. It's just the Messi crew. Everyone wants to play with Messi, don't they? Like,
Yeah, well, Mascherano's there as manager as well now. Like, before you know it, it'll be that Barcelona team from like 06, 07 that was winning the Champions League. It'll be the full team back in there. Like, although they had Rafael Marquez went to MLS, didn't he? That won Champions League with Barcelona. Like,
Yeah,
he was
he
their
did.
centre back for a while. He went to MLS. Yeah, they've had a few players that have already gone out there and done well.
I don't know on our sports cards. Maybe that Sorare are buying them over or something. Not really too sure. But and the MLS penalty thing. Did you see the advert John did for them recently?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
See when they mentioned the penalty goal thing, I was like, that's just maybe a touch too much cringe for me.
yeah. It was good. For the first half of it as well, I thought he wasn't there with Royce and Boanga because they never showed them in the same like image at the start. And then at the very end, they was all stood there together. I was like, oh, thank God he actually got to meet them, because if he just did a bit for them where, you know, he didn't really get to meet the stars, I thought that would have been a bit sad. But yeah, well, it was a little bit cringe, but, you know, John makes it work, doesn't he? He does a good job.
John's good at cringe. You know, he's
Yes,
happy
yeah.
cringe. You know,
Yeah.
he's all about that. But I was just like that the penalty goal thing. I was like, oh Jesus, that's not going to go down well with anyone.
No,
You know?
no, it's not.
But yeah, Slam Duncan wants to bring them back. It would definitely get some views. I'll tell you that. But I don't think that'll be happening anytime soon.
No, I can't imagine so.
And yeah, I was thinking if there's anything else I wanted to kind of throw at you, Nep, or bring up or whatever. But I think I'm out of ideas, mate. So
Yeah, well, good. I can smell my dinner is basically here as well, mate. Anyway, so it's good timing.
Absolute pleasure. Now, last thing I'll ask is, you told me your one of your games. You had a lot of games going on. Was that a good night for you? Did you have some victories?
In MFL,
Yeah.
did I even win any games? Hold on, let's have a look.
Oh, MLS talking about relegation in 2028.
That'd be good, wouldn't it? Imagine if Sorare bring on the MLS too. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
I've been saying this honestly for as long as, I don't know, certainly as long as I've been in front of the camera, if not a little bit longer. But football rules the world.
It does,
Like,
mate. It does.
They will make Americans consider relegation. You know, they will. Doesn't matter if we're all locked in our house, they'll still play football. Doesn't matter if there's a war going on in a country, they'll still play football.
There you go. So this is the only win I got today.
Oh, nice, sweet cheeky 2-1.
I got a red card, a 2-1
Oof.
win. This guy is 63, 63, 61. I'm 51, 57, 55.
Wow,
So that's a decent win, that isn't it?
that's good. Show me your red card guy.
Show H Stark what the rating of him.
Just click on his thing, guys. Oh, he looks like a butcher, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna have to replace him next game. These are cards again that I like. He's got really good pace, really good dribbling, good passing, defending. He's like really well rounded for his rating.
See, one thing I've noticed is like some of the teams I've played against, They're either super focused on pace or super focused on passing. You get
Yeah.
lots of players that are quite good at both, but in the couple of seasons I've had, I've noticed that with some of the opponents where like maybe it's just do the best with the means that you have, what's available on the market or whatever.
Yeah. So if you watched some of my content, if you watched all of it, you'll know. But
I've missed today's video for MFL, but I've seen the rest.
yeah. So the one of the other ones that I made, I kind of showed why I bought certain players for Prestige 26 as backup players at the very least, and that's because for the players that let me go on real quick. For the players that aren't starting at the moment, I really tried to focus on like the stat that was important for where they're going to play. So like this guy here is only 67 rated, but he's got really good defending and physical, and like decent passing. And then for let's take this, no, he was in the last season. Let's take this guy here. He's like for a 68 rated. He's got really good pace, really good defending, and really good passing. And I'm like, I really tried to focus on. I don't care about his shooting and his dribbling because I'm going to have him as a defensive right back. And I haven't actually used any of these guys yet, but I'm really excited for the first game that they play to see if that kind of theory of let's just focus on those key stats, not the rating, seeing if it works. And if it does, could be a new way to like introduce strategy to the game.
I think that was kind of how I got that left back guy that plays centre mid, because when I put the stats in, like I had like minimum pace, passing and defending, and he came up and I was like, oh, he's a left back that plays centre mid, and the last guy played him left back, I played him centre mid, and he had his best year ever for me, and I was in a higher division or whatever. So I think that approach, like that, I think that'll pay off.
Yeah, nice. Hopefully, yeah. If I can join you in the what's the division above? Iron.
Iron.
Yeah, hopefully I'll join you in the Iron division next season.
Aye, if I don't get promoted, well, maybe. Well, I probably won't. It's unlikely, but I'll be pushing. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. I know you need to get your tea. And it's a late shift tonight. Thanks to anyone that showed up for this one. It's been a wee bit over the shot, but I've had a good one. Yeah, pleasure as always, mate.
Catch you later. Good